Which of these two movies, From Russia with Love or Dr. Alien, do you prefer?
Okay, this is going to be kind of like a last week thing. I prefer From Russia with Love, and I think From Russia with
Why
Love...
don't you let me go first so you don't embarrass yourself?
Okay, fine.
I'm helping you.
Okay, fine, go.
So, Jim, as much as I've hyped up Dr. Alien, and I do like it, I find it incredibly enjoyable for what it is. What it is, it's not a piece of art. I mean, in a weird way, it kind of is, because I think it's like a perfect of this kind of very specific movie thing. That having been said, like From Russia with Love, a very, very well executed action spy James Bond movie. Mm-hmm. I have to give that props. And I mean, as much as I do enjoy Dr. Alien, I'm going to say I prefer From Russia with Love. I will take like a fun bad movie over a lot of like movies I just kind of like. But if I like a movie as much as From Russia with Love, I'm going to take that over really any kind of bad movie that I enjoy, I think. So, Jim, what about you?
Yeah, like I agree with your point. I think maybe... I mean, is this the first time you've seen... I mean, I guess it isn't the first time you've seen Dr. Alien, right?
No, only the second, though. I look forward to many watches in the future.
Well, because I agree with you about From Russia with Love, but I think it might be at a disadvantage here because I've seen From Russia with Love about, like 50 million times. So to see something new and to see something that completely surpassed my expectations.
And it's one of a kind, too. It's not just that you're seeing something new. It's you may never see another movie like this.
Well, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, my point is, while,
in a lot of ways.
While I think From Russia with Love is a better movie, on this viewing, I enjoyed watching Dr. Alien more than From Russia with Love. But right. I do think From Russia with Love is a better movie, and again, it's in like my top 5 James Bond movies.
So, Jim, how does this work as a double feature?
Oh, man, I hate this question.
Then have me start. Okay. Then have me start if you're going to bitch about it.
I'm not bitching about it. But I always say, like, whenever something like James Bond is in this, I always say, or I'm going to be saying probably for a fair amount of times, that it doesn't really work for me as a double feature because James Bond isn't really a drive-in movie, if you catch my drift. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because From Russia with Love isn't really schlocky, but like some campy Roger Moore
It doesn't need to be
movies.
Schlocky, though.
No, you're right.
I mean, I think From Russia with Love is a better drive-in movie than Dr. No, just because it's not as slow and it's more entertaining. And it's more,
yeah, I agree with that.
It's got a better score, even, which, I mean, that doesn't really tie into the drive-in thing, but just in the ways that I enjoy this movie more.
If this was like a campy Roger Moore James Bond, I could see these two movies working a lot better together because there is more comedy in these kind of campier James Bond movies, and I think that would play off really well with Dr. Alien. But because From Russia with Love is, for the most part, pretty serious, and you have a couple of those throwaway lines, which are actually kind of
awful,
sleazy, yeah, and
many of them are bad.
Yeah, I just don't really feel like they would play off each other that well. So I'm gonna say no, they don't work as a double feature.
I'm going to say they work incredibly well. And the reasoning here, I'm looking at these for a very specific aspect. James Bond is irresistible to women. And he likes it.
Yeah.
Wesley Littlejohn is irresistible to women and he hates it. So it's interesting to see that kind of spectrum of male irresistibleness towards females. And we get this dude that, I'm just going to have sex with everything that moves. And then this other guy who's like, everyone that moves wants to have sex with him, but he doesn't want it. I like that pairing in that aspect. And I also think From Russia with Love, serious movie, has some kind of weird moments of like comedy, most of which are like really small, but it's just kind of like they don't work, most of them. Dr. Alien has an awful lot of comedy that doesn't work, but enough of it works, and it's goofy, and it's funny, and it's got a lot of nudity, which From Russia with Love has a little bit of nudity in that one shot that you and I were both surprised by.
Yeah.
But I feel like the movie kind of teased us with that, and then Dr. Alien is, the chips are all in with the nudity, so I really appreciate that as a follow-up to From Russia with Love. So I think they work better than I would have expected.